Willie, can you kind of compare, if you guys were a 10 level focus energy at Miami last week, where would you put how you felt like you guys came out tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about focus and energy. I think, everyone's into the game, everyone's excited to play. We did not play anywhere close to a clean game offensively. Now the encouraging part is we played pretty bad on offense and scored 40 points and we won. So that's the most important thing. But really a subpar performance offensively in a lot of respects.
Just as a follow, how much of that had to do with Boston College starts off 15 plays, 8+ minutes, like you guys didn't have the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it was difficult to get into a rhythm. I don't know how many plays we ran in the first half, but I know we only had the ball for like 5 minutes in the first half. So I think, that's going to happen sometimes, so we gotta be able to stay in the game and find ways to get in a rhythm regardless of, how many times we have the ball and whatnot. So, like I said, just, happy we won, but not happy with how we played as an offense.
Anybody else? Somebody?
So, Miller, in a game like this where the offense is kind of disjointed,
Yeah.
you can't really find that rhythm and that
Right.
pace. What's the conversation like on the sidelines when that's going on as you guys are coming off the field, getting ready for your next opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I think guys do a good job of picking each other up and encouraging one another. And I think, one thing that I am very proud of this unit is when things don't go well, we don't turn and point fingers. So I think that's definitely a positive. I think it speaks to the character of the people that we have on this team and in that unit in particular. I don't think there's a negative attitude, but I do think there's some, hey, like we gotta get this right. We gotta stop hurting ourselves, going backwards, getting ourselves in bad situations and turning the ball over. Like we gotta stop doing that. So there's definitely that sentiment, but I don't think there's any pointing fingers or anything like that.
Alexis?
I guess going off of that, was it more of something that maybe Boston College was doing, or was it just more intrinsic as far as just not being together?
I mean, I think they dialed up some pressures on some stuff that were pretty good. I think as we kind of worked in the second half, we had a lot. We got to some different things that had a lot of good answers, and they got us on a couple. So I mean, they did some good things schematically, but I think at the end of the day, like when we're executing at a high clip offensively, like it shouldn't necessarily matter what they're calling. We should be able to do what we do well and at a high level.
Mike?
Miller, you mentioned that you guys didn't play clean. It's not the first game that hasn't been completely clean for you guys. What do you think is I guess the cause of that? I guess consistently unclean games.
I mean, I wish I was just like, oh, this is what we need to do better. I don't know. I mean, I think, the frustrating part is we come off a Miami game where we do play super clean for the most part. I mean, obviously that one fumble at the end, but like we played really clean overall. I mean, I don't know if there was kind of a sentiment of like, hey, in 23 we beat Notre Dame, turn around and lost to Pitt. 24 we beat Clemson, turn around and lost to Stanford. But I think, we need to be the aggressor. I mean, we talk about, being the hunter and not the hunted. And, in terms of why I can't point to one reason. I think, we just got to be more disciplined. We got to continue to get better. But I mean, obviously, like I said, that all being said, I'm glad we won.
Your last two, Alexis and Rashawn.
Yeah, I was thinking the silver lining, Isaac had 205 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Is it, I guess, just comforting to see him, or does it give more confidence to see him kind of seeming a little more healthier?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's played phenomenally the last two games, which has been great to see, and he's going to continue to make huge play. I mean, he took the first play 75 yards, so that was awesome to see.
Really, the last 2 years, coming off big victories, first against Notre Dame and then last year against Clemson, Louisville, lost the very next game. Was there any conversation about that of not letting that happen again this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you go back to, like when Coach Brown beat Ohio State and they were number 2, and then I'm not sure if it was Nebraska or Michigan State or someone like would turn around and lost the next week. So I think, we were definitely aware of that. And, we were very conscious of the fact that we did not want that outcome. So we were definitely aware of it.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.